Hello YouTubers, this is Cessnaace back again with another 10 video ads video. This time concentrating on VHS tapes. Now over this past weekend I went by the flea market with my usual $50 allowance for the flea market. And my primary mission was to go by yesterday and today, which is a double wide climate controlled stall there at the flea market. Because Bill, the owner, had come across some LaserDiscs that he thought I would be interested in, so he went ahead and bought them with me in mind. He had been selling all of his LaserDiscs for $5 a piece. That's how they were marked, but he was selling them to me for $3 a piece, I guess because I was buying so many of them. But then he lowered the price to $1 a piece, and I went in there and I cleaned him out, except for a small handful of discs that had jackets that had water damage. And I told him that not to waste his time, at least if I'm the primary customer of LaserDisc, which I think I am there. If he comes across any that are offered to him that are in that kind of condition, I'm not going to buy them. I just told him right up front, I will not buy jackets in that kind of condition. And so he said that was cool, and he said he would keep his eye open for any discs that he thought I would be interested in. And somebody approached him. They wanted to sell some LaserDiscs to him, and they were all in really nice condition, and they were all really old releases, some of which were DiscoVision and some of which were music concert videos, and he knew I'd be interested in them. And he went ahead and bought them, and then the next time I went in there he described them to me, and I said, yeah, I'd love to buy those. So the time after that I went in there was this past weekend, and I had intended to pick up all of the discs, but I didn't have enough money. I didn't spend the whole $50 there. I had swung by the stall that I usually buy VHS tapes from, and I had bought 30 tapes at $1 a piece, $30. That left me with 20. He was selling these LaserDiscs for $4 a piece because they were not discs that were not, they were discs that were not already in his inventory. They were discs that he bought to sell to me, and so he had told me before that they were going to be $4 a piece. But then when I went in there this past weekend, he said, how much did I tell you that I was going to charge you? And I told him $4 because that's what he told me. I could have quite easily said $2 or $3, but that's not the way I am. Anyway, I had $20 left after I spent all that money at the VHS stall, so that limited me to 5 discs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 8, 12, 16, $20. Now to show you the VHS tapes, and I bet you thought I wasn't going to get around to it. Bad Girls. Now, the one who runs the stall that I buy the VHS tapes from is quite used to the way I meticulously go over each and every tape that I have any interest in. I'm inspecting the box because I do not want a box that has a lot of rips and tears in it or anything, or water damage or what have you. She's also used to the way I do every tape that I pull them out, I check the case, box. I pull out the cassette, make sure that it is in good condition cosmetically, and I check to make sure that the plastic is not broken. Also check the tape guard. Have to be careful doing this because if you get your hand under the tape, then you're going to pull the tape out when you do this. But just on the corner, I pull without a lot of pressure, just enough to see that it is in fact not broken. If this pulls up with you doing that, that means there's a piece of plastic in there that is broken off, and it's not worth buying. There is a tab, which I've shown before, on the side. Normally it's red or blue or orange or some color that stands out, but this one's black, so it's a little hard to see. But you push that in and lift up the tape guard. And I check the tapes to make sure there are no creases, no water damage, no tape edge damage, so forth. If I come across any that have any problems along those lines, I flag them for. And one time I saw a film that interested me. It was a version of Alice in Wonderland that I had never seen before. And we have a lot of versions of Alice in Wonderland, right up to and including the version that Tim Burton did. But this one I had never heard of, and so I was quite excited. But as I checked the tapes, I had to open the cassette shell, or it was in a clamshell case. I opened it, Disney's Alice in Wonderland. Well, I already have that, so I didn't need that. So I flagged that for her. This was still sealed. It wasn't in plastic, but you'll notice that piece of tape there. Fox always used those. And it was not broken yet. So I went in there with an X-Acto knife and I cut it so that it was letting the tape out. When I did that, no biggie, but it's a little Brucey bonus. Okay, this next one is a horror film that is also known by the title Son of Blob. Beware the Blob. Now, for those of you old enough to remember, Larry Hagman played a character on Dallas called JR. Really not such a nice guy. And as a season-ending cliffhanger, he was shot. So over the entire summer, it was who shot JR? Who shot JR? So I thought this was kind of funny. Directed by Larry Hagman, the movie that JR shot. I don't know how many other films he shot, but he shot this one. Distributed by Image Entertainment, which is cool. They started off as a distributor of LaserDiscs. When they first started, Korn is what they were just releasing, but then they signed on with, or they signed a contract with Media Home Entertainment to distribute all their titles on LaserDisc. And then gradually they added more and more publishers of video cassettes to their roster. They would license these titles and then release them on Laserdisc. And it got to the point where Image was larger than even Pioneer, the company that saved the Laserdisc format. Laserdisc format had been co-invented by MCA, which at the time owned Universal Studios, and it was also co-developed by Philips of the Netherlands and their American subsidiary, Magnavox. And with their Laserdisc, they had a cataloging system where, well, initially it was I dash and then a 4-digit number, and then it was ID dash and a 4-digit number, and then it was ID 4-digit number, 2-letter suffix, no dashes. And the 2-letter suffixes designated each label. For example, I'll just pull one out off the top of my head, HB. I believe that was the one for HBO video. But anyway, they wound up being the largest distributor of LaserDiscs in the United States. They were releasing an average of 100 LaserDiscs a month in the U.S. So they released a ton. And I couldn't help but notice that they used the same cataloging system for their tapes. ID 6598WE. The WE is the designation for the company that they licensed this title from, which was Worldwide Entertainment Corporation. Anime title: Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040 Volume 1. Picked up a lot of these, although I picked up some other things too, along the lines of anime. These are all English dubbed versions. Those of you who've been watching my channel for any length of time know that I prefer to watch foreign films and anime with the original language as the soundtrack and with English subtitles. Okay, some of you out there are going to say, now why'd you buy this? Because it's on a slow speed tape and I already have this on LaserDisc. But I went ahead and got it anyway. Cindy Crawford, Shape Your Body Workout from Good Times Home Video. I wasn't quite sure at first when I saw the cover that this was the same release that I have on LaserDisc, but then I saw that shot and I knew that it was the same because that's on the cover of the LaserDisc. On the back anyway, I think. Oh. Okay, now I've mentioned this before also. I like covers that aren't just photos or stills. I like it when they go the extra mile and have a painting commissioned for the cover, such as the case with this MGMUA release, Kill Me Again. Does that look like Val Kilmer? Because it's supposed to be him. But as I said, it's a painting, a drawing, a sketch, however you want to put it. This one had a really large rental sticker, which I did my best at removing, but I didn't get everything. I mean, all the residue off. I got what I could off, but I love Ray Stevens. This is the second Ray Stevens VHS tape I have. This was released by Reader's Digest, and it's a special edition. It's got footage that was not in the general release. What was part of the regular release were Help Me Make It Through the Night music video, It's Me Again Margaret video, Santa Claus Is Watching You video, Setting Up with the Dead video, Surfing USSR video, Mississippi Squirrel Revival video, The Streak video, and Everything Is Beautiful video. But then they included quite a bit of songs from live concerts, including Shriners Convention, Can He Love You Half as Much as I Saw Elvis in a UFO, Ahab the Arab, Secret Agent Man, Information Man, Guitarzan, Sex Symbols, You Gotta Have a Hat, Amazing Grace, Misty, The Streak, and Everything is Beautiful. And Everything Beautiful won him a award. I'm trying to remember the name of the award. Anyway. More anime. This is Serial Experiments Lain. Four episodes, but they don't call them episodes, they call them layers. Layer 1, weird. Layer 2, girls. Layer 3, psyche. And layer 4, religion. Published by Pioneer. More anime. This is the Slayers, which has a longer title, I believe, but I'll see as soon as I look at the cassette. The Slayers try a hero descends, has a question mark. So it's descends. Very Bad Things. No. I'll mess with it later. There's a barcode strip on there, and I meant to remove it before I did this video, but I forgot. And finally, we have this movie on DVD. We have it on 2 different LaserDisc releases. I went ahead and bought this on VHS because it's sealed. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Also, as I believe I've mentioned, if I haven't, I've got a game for the Sega Master System coming from Australia, so I should be getting that in a few days. Also have 2 packages of VCDs coming from Hong Kong. Contrary to what you might think, not all VCDs were Chinese films, although this one is, the Avenging Quartet. This was already in my collection, and I bought it because it has Moon Lee in it. Japanese film, Godzilla 2000 Millennium. And a Spanish VCD, Volver. I should say it's a Spanish movie, published in Hong Kong most probably. Although I do have one that was published in Thailand or Malaysia or something. Anyway, I've got 10 VCDs coming. Couple of weekends back, my wife had been planning this for some time. She wanted to go to Disney World again, and there's no added expense for us as far as the rooms, as far as the tickets are concerned, because we're annual pass holders, but we do have to pay for the hotel. We always stay on property. My wife is willing to stay off property, but I'm not. I just love being able to step out of the lobby of the resort and hop on a Disney bus. And they make it easy for me too, because they have something called a guest assistance card. This allows people with disabilities to basically not stand in the regular line. Some attractions have a special entrance, others don't, and in those cases you get on the fast pass. You go on the fast pass lane. But it really helps me because I have a lot of back problems and balance issues. In fact, just a couple days after we got back, I fell again. Did want to show this real quick. I know I'm going way over, but hey, since I took down some videos that YouTube wasn't too fond of, mostly LaserDisc clip videos and the like, took those down, and now I'm able to record videos over 15 minutes again. Went on Splash Mountain. And we took our niece with us. That drastically increased the price for us because we had to pay for her tickets. We got her a 3-day pass, and our regular deal of getting a room with 2 queen-size beds in it was not going to fly. So we booked a family suite, which is really cool. You have the living room area, which has a couch that makes out to a double bed, and then you have it's a fancy chair. It's kind of like a recliner, I guess, but that makes into a single bed. And then there's the master bedroom, which has its own door, and I believe that was a king-size bed. Anyways, a huge bed. Flat screen TVs in both rooms. The master bedroom has ports to plug in your computers or what have you if you want to go online. Has a kitchen, well, kind of closer to a kitchenette, and 2 bathrooms, one right across from our door and one kind of beside it. Just walk through an archway and take a left, and there's the other bathroom. So really cool. I told my wife, we're going to have to do this again because I thoroughly enjoyed staying in a family suite. And she had to break the news to me that, well, this was expensive. But it wasn't as expensive as it could have been. We paid $300 for that family suite while we were there. Had we booked it in a peak month like June or July, that same suite goes for $800 for the length of time we were there. And I had wanted to take my sister-in-law and niece and nephew. Again, we had taken them before. It's just been a long time. Anywho, I've gone long. I've gone way over. So probably nobody will watch this video because it's too long. Till next time, stay awesome.